One, two, three. Check the sound, friends. Today we have live demo presentation of the very interesting game Cosmic Horizon. No boring presentations, only real gameplay. And before we will start, you are founder of Cosmic Horizon. You have so long time in the Cosmos ecosystem. You was the part of the one of the biggest validator informal systems. Just this is what I know about you. But maybe you will tell just several sentences about yourself and several sentences how you came up with the idea to build games.
Yeah, sure. Thank you for having me. Man, a few sentences just about myself. I could probably talk for hours, but I'll try to keep it short. Yeah, back in, let's see, it must have been 2020, something like that. A friend of mine and I were kind of sitting around. We didn't have much to do. And I'd built games before. So I built another game on Hive, which used to be called Steemit, and that game was called Hash Kings. It was a weed growing simulator. So you planted seeds and you grew your weed plants, and then you harvested and that kind of a thing. So I was telling my friend William about this, and he he thought it was really cool, and I was like, I'm in Cosmos now, and I like building games. Cosmos, maybe let's do a space game. So that was kind of the inception, and we walked through a bunch of different kind of game types, and kind of landed on this sort of a thing. Oh, I think you're muted.
Yes, thank you. Great. The second small question. We know that the Cosmic Horizon now is not on the Cosmos, but on EVM. Yes.
Right, right. Yeah, I mean, as everybody knows, Cosmos has kind of slowed down, and it really, it's not really so much that I don't want to be in Cosmos. It's really just the scalability and the fact that games, you need a lot of transactions and you need to do them fast. So EVM just really offers that.
We understand your pain. Our heart is also bleeding because of the situation with the Cosmos. But of course, the main idea is to build something Web3 and interoperable. And it's not really important which protocols, because future of the Web3 will be built on many hundreds, if not thousands of different protocols, as the Web 2
Right.
built on many different protocols. So let's start to go deeper in the cosmic space. Let's try to reach cosmic horizon for this. Can you show us how to start to play Cosmic Horizon?
Yeah, sure. I'm already logged in here, but it's real simple to get started. So I'm gonna go ahead and log out, and then I'll kind of show you how it begins. For sake of time, I'll start the intro, and then I'll kind of skip through it a little bit because it does take quite some time to kind of get started up. There's a lot of story involved with the game. So let me log out here, and I'll register a new user. So this is live right now. Everything is already being done on an EVM local Anvil chain that I have running on the back end of this server. And you're going to probably notice something right away once we get logged in, it actually doesn't ask you, it doesn't actually ask you for seed phrases and that kind of thing. So in Web3, we're always used to, you know, when you create a wallet, you have to, you know, write down your seed phrase and you have to store it safely. One thing that I think is really important, and something not just I'm doing, but other protocols are even doing in apps, is that they're trying to abstract away the layer of crypto. Basically, it's powered by blockchain, but the user doesn't really have to even know that. So you just click launch here. You got a cool little intro that comes up. I'm not sure if you can hear the sound.
No, we don't hear the sound.
Okay, no problem.
But no,
Yeah, so there,
more comments. What is happening is much important.
sure, yeah. Yeah, so I spent a lot of time putting together this really cool soundtrack as well. So when you get in, make sure you turn your sound on, so that way you can kind of enjoy the vibe and everything. But you go through this intro here, kind of tells you a little bit about the story itself, and that goes on for about a couple of minutes. If you are tired of listening, you can read faster than he narrates, so you can click skip, or you can just skip it altogether and kind of get started. So once you enter this screen, you can enter the galaxy, and here you're presented with the intro, or excuse me, the tutorial. So the tutorial is really simple. It just gives you the absolute basics, so you can kind of get started. So we'll skip the tutorial because we'll be doing all those things here in just a moment. Once you're done with the tutorial, this is the post-tutorial intro, and it kind of gives you more of an idea of the gameplay itself. So it's talking about how traveling to new sectors and navigating through the cosmic map, and yeah, I mean, you guys can check that out.
Yeah. Today you are our tutorial, so
I'll be
yeah,
the
we'll
tutorial. That's
explain it
correct.
even in the better details. Oh, nice pixel graphic.
Thank you.
Looks really great. Looks like I like such kind of graphics, and this is
Nice.
it brings me to my childhood.
Nice. Yep. Yeah, that was kind of the idea. This is kind of a lot of the mechanics are actually based on a game from the early 90s. So I wanted to keep with that theme, I guess. All right. So yeah, once you're in the game, again, um, we didn't do anything with the mnemonics. There's no seed phrases, nothing like that. It's all tied to your email address. Right now, we're still testing, but once it's live, you'll use a service called Privy, and those guys take care of all the signing and the keys and everything for you. So you can just get right to playing. As you do things, it's being recorded on chain, and you're just having fun. So that's really one of my favorite parts as far as it being a blockchain game. All right, so up here we've got a log, kind of the things that have been happening. We've already done the tutorial, and right now it's saying check missions. So if you're not familiar, obviously you have to go through, but if you click pilot, you'll see missions right there. So there's a few different things before I started on this mission here. There's a story. So there's 60, so there's 8 chapters and 60 missions. Many of the missions are multi-phased. So you have phase 1, fly to a sector, meet a person. Phase 2, complete the task he gave you. Phase 3, maybe bring an item somewhere, or whatever it may be. So there's actually, just in the story mode alone, there's a lot to do. You have as well daily missions. So every day, I think it's at midnight UTC, these things will restart. So right now it's win a combat encounter, trade 500 credits worth, trade 500 credits worth of goods and land on a planet. Real simple stuff, but just enough to keep you engaged daily. Active, so it does look like it's left over from before. I'll have to, this is still in beta, so there's going to be some stuff that isn't working 100%. But yeah, you'll have your active missions here. And then board. Right now we just began, so it wants us to complete the first mission, or the first chapter actually, in order for us to use the mission board. You can learn about that on your own if you make it that far. And then of course here's all your completed missions. So let's go ahead and accept this mission. There's a guy who's narrating this story for you, kind of gives you a little bit of the background of this specific chapter and the mission that you're doing. All right, great. So I dismissed it, so we'll have to go back here to mission and see what we need to do. So we're in First Light. If you want to reread the mission, you can click Story Context and read it here. And it gives you a little bit more about what exactly you need to do, but we of course see that right here. Visit 3 nearby sectors to calibrate your navigation system. Okay, so now we get to actually fly the ship around a little bit. You'll go to helm here, navigation, and that'll pop open your helm. This is where you can perform different things like dock at a station, or you actually land on planets. You can scan sectors here, use your warp drive, you get some alerts, and then just some sector info. There's a little bit of info here, but enough to get you kind of flying around. I have what's called adjacent sectors. I might want to explain that a little bit. So the way that navigation works is you don't go from sector 1 to sector 2 to sector 3 to sector 4 in a line. It's not like that at all. It's completely randomized to where right now we're in sector 2627. I can only go to these sectors here. So if I
Yes,
go
so the
right
number
here,
is just the names of the sector.
those are the names of the sectors, but they are the actual location and space as well. So it's not just the name, it is the actual location. So, and it's kind of important because there are also choke points and one-way sectors. So it's kind of important to pay attention to that. You mentioned name of sector. So there is a mission down the road where once you unlock it, then now you can actually name sectors, because this isn't just a story mode game. This is a big multiplayer game where you try to take over other people's sectors and planets, and you attack each other, and you try to outgrow each other, basically. So at one point, you get to actually start naming your sectors. And as you notice, so now this sector, you get to go to 4 other ones. So before it was just 3, but now it's 4. Let me go to this next one, and then I'll show you something else. Actually, I'll go to one more, and then might be a little easier to visualize. All right, so completed the chapter. You'll see up here there's a little notification to let you know where to go. But before we do that, I want to show you guys something. Yeah, and you can move this map all around however you want, zoom in, zoom out. But here's another map. So this is a just like the more 2D map. Not letting me drag it. I did some changes last night, so there's a couple of bugs I introduced. But anyways, here you'll be able to kind of see more of the progression. If I go back, so let's go back here. You'll notice I can go to these 4 sectors down here. So if I go to map, I'll zoom in 740. So 814 and 726. We've already gone to those. So 814, 726, 3. Let's do 2143. So now this map has now a branching off here. So after you travel through, it'll start to become this kind of spider web. Some sectors connect to others, and some just absolutely don't. So it's kind of a bit of a maze, I would say. Anyway, so first mission's been completed. So let's go ahead and go over here and go back to missions. We can see that we've completed the mission. It's all green. Green is go. And here's our reward. Claim our reward. And you get the codex. So now you're learning more about the story again, and just kind of walking your way through it. Yeah, so that's kind of the story mode. I was testing something earlier, and unfortunately it wasn't working, but I can still show you. So let's go back to the helm. One thing that's kind of hard to find as you go through the maze, sometimes it ends up being hard to find a star mall. So if you go back to your helm, you can see here near a star mall. Click that, use your warp drive, and it'll take you there. And if you notice, all this stuff costs energy. And this is, again, this is all kind of being tracked. So your credits and all that sort of thing is being tracked and on chain. All right, let's go ahead and dock at the station. Oh, did you have a question?
Yes, maybe just for the small introduction, yes, explain. So, exist pilot, then sector number 2627, energy we understand, energy we use for the jumping from the planet to planet and doing any actions. And as I understand, this energy not infinity, so when it's finished, you can't jump anymore and you need to wait while the energy is restoring. Yes?
Correct. Yeah, you'll have to wait while the energy restores, and as you can see, we already got one back, so you don't have to wait forever, but you definitely do have to wait. One thing that you can do inside, so if you can make it back to a star mall, you can actually refuel as well, but you have to make it to a star mall first. So here's the refuel, and this is where you can pay credits to refuel. So let's go ahead and test it out. I only need 3. So there we go. Now I'm back. It cost me 30 credits to do that, and I'm back to 500.
Yes, so credits, it's the inner money of the game.
Yes.
Yes,
That's correct. It's the in-game currency.
Yes, is it just some parameter that is changing, or is it any tokens on chain?
Yep. So it's an ERC20 token. So as you're performing actions such as buying things or selling stuff or gaining missions, there's transactions being sent on chain that is actually updating. So since you have that question, let me actually get out of the Star Mall here and we'll look at the wallet. So so you do actually have a wallet. Here's all the different ERC20 tokens. Looks like so I've got my credits here, 11 to 20. This is kept in a smart contract. So let me back it up just a little bit. So as far as the on-chain is concerned, is when you first join the game, right now everything is kind of airdropped to you, so you have credits to play. But in the future, once that all kind of ends, you have to acquire some on an exchange, right? You'll have to go and get yourself some credits. They're actually, credits is just a generic name until I figure out exactly what I want to call the tokens. We were using Coho before, so that's probably what it's going to be. But you'll have to acquire them, and then you can actually deposit them through through this interface here. I don't have anything to deposit, so the deposit button doesn't actually show up. Same thing with withdrawing is you'll actually withdraw these credits. Ceruleum is a type of in-game asset that you'll become familiar with. Your planets actually, your colonists on your planets actually mine the ceruleum. Food as well, I thought would be interesting to put on as an ERC20. So food is a token. Tech is a token. Drift fuel, and then these Vedic crystals. You'll learn as you play. You'll learn what all of these things do. But yeah, all of these are ERC20 tokens. Your ship is an ERC 721, so an NFT. If you upgrade your ship, the parameters inside of the NFT also get updated. So you can build up your ships and then you can sell them, or you can buy ones from other people that are already built up nicely for you. Same thing with your character. So your character is also an NFT. It keeps all of your badges, your experience, your levels, your faction standing. So there's a lot to this game that I can't explain in just 10 minutes, but all of this stuff is all tracked on chain within tokens.
Sounds really great and amazing. So maybe a little bit about parameters, weapons, engines, hull, cargo.
That's right. Yeah, so that's your ship. Right now I've got a cruiser. It tells me that I've got, so obviously weapons, that's what this W stands for. It's really just another kind of representation of what's up here. 160 is kind of my weapons level, and when you get into combat, that becomes really important. Engine energy, so that's different than the energy up here. That's more also for combat. And again, you'll have to get into combat to do it. I would show that today, but I'm completely, thanks to you, in fact, I'm completely redoing the combat, and it's going to be a lot more like faster than light. So I decided to use those mechanics. So thank you for that suggestion.
Oh, yeah, I really great that my advices can be useful.
Yeah, I love it. I really appreciative of it. Yeah, I went through yesterday and I created an entire plan for it, and today I'm actually going to start implementing it. And then hull, obviously that's your the ship's hull itself. So your shields,
Kind of
cargo.
lives of your ship, yeah.
Right, like right, exactly. Like your health, I guess. Like your ship's health. So if I get attacked, that and it creates hull damage, then that will decrease. Be mindful that this will probably change just a little bit as I implement the new combat features. But the idea is very similar. Cargo. So cargo is how much your ship can actually hold. This game is a trading game. So you want to do what I call celestial arbitrage, where some outposts are selling ceruleum for 13 credits. Some outposts are buying ceruleum for 14 credits. So you fly to one sector that's selling at 13, and you fly to another and sell for 14. So you're kind of doing this arbitrage in there, and that goes for everything that they're selling. And that's what this cargo is all about. When you first start, depending on the type of ship you have, you're kind of limited to this, but of course you can upgrade that as you play the game.
Yeah, sounds very interesting. So let's try to do something.
Sure. Okay. Yeah. Let's go. So let's go back to this. We're already docked at the Star Mall. So let's go back to the Star Mall here. We can actually buy some tech from this place. Selling it at, I think, well, looks like, dang, I'm going to tell you right now, this is really expensive, only because I've been playing for a while. I already know that this is really expensive and that I probably wouldn't buy it at that point, at that price. But just for fun, let's go ahead and do it anyways. So, looks like I actually got an achievement for that. And my achievements are tracked here as a badge. And again, that's on chain. So my character now has this achievement on chain. I've got down here 10 tech in my cargo hole. And let me just, before we go and try to sell it somewhere, which can be quite hard in the beginning because I haven't traveled very many places. So we actually have to go and find an outpost. But so there's the store. Here inside the store, you can actually buy all of the different kind of weapon systems and cloaking devices, different modules, uh, sector probes, toll drones, defensive drones. So things that you would need to protect your sectors and planets, and things that you would need to attack sectors and planets. Dealer actually allows you to buy different ships. So if you if you notice, they're all different credits because they all have uh, different attributes. So the Callan battleship is actually the most expensive because it's actually, I mean, in my opinion, it's the best. If you go through the story, you'll see why. It's over engineered. It's really hard to destroy. It's just a really good ship. It can fly pretty fast, actually. So it's a really good ship. But each one of those has kind of their own level. Also, some refinement will be done on that as well. Garage is kind of neat. So obviously you can only fly one ship at a time. So you can come here and you can store your ship in the garage. I'm not going to do it because then I won't have a ship, and I only have 10,000 credits. So I can't really, I don't really want to trade in my cruiser for a Calvation Scout. So we'll go here, salvage. Um, this is if I were to have another ship, I could actually salvage that ship and get back some of the credits. Let's say I didn't like it anymore, or whatever it might be, or I bought one from somebody for really cheap, but it's actually worth a lot of money. Then I can go ahead and just salvage my ship there. And Cantina. So Cantina is really fun. This is like the bar, right? You can talk to the bartender and get intel from the bartender for free. The bartender does not like us right now because we haven't bought any drinks or anything from them, so they're not going to tell us anything. But speaking of drinks, we can get some drinks. And let's just go ahead and try it. Nebula Fizz. We'll order us some Nebula Fizz, and as you can see, your player kind of gets a little bit drunk. It gets more and more drunk the more drinks you buy.
Oh, this is so interesting. Very cool that he implements such an interesting yeah, gameplay.
Thank you.
Can you drink and fly?
Yeah. So what's kind of funny is if you notice, these drinks kind of do stuff too. So they'll boost your scanner sensitivity. You can toughen your hull, so it reduces next combat damage by 10%. So it kind of, in a way, forces you to drink a little bit, but not too much, because then you can't actually even perform anything. Because if you get really drunk, I mean, good luck hitting the buttons. But one thing I want to mention, and this is exclusive for you guys. In the future, people may not know this, and only whoever watched the stream will know, but there's an Easter egg. There's an Easter egg, and I'll share the Easter egg with you guys. So if you drink these drinks in a specific order, you run into the drifter. And the drifter goes on and on and on and on. And he talks about all sorts of stuff nobody cares about. And he talks about how he's been drinking his whole life and lost his ship. And then he ate some mushrooms and things got even weirder. And he just talks forever and ever. I mean, this goes off screen. Before it does, he asks you for some money at the end. You can either give him some money or you can walk away. Let's give him some money. So we've just unlocked an achievement. These achievements are special to this Easter egg. So let's say you have this profile, Dan Vedic. He's got these other achievements, but I might have this special achievement now because I am an enabler. I was able to solve the Easter egg. Just something fun that I throw in there, and something that in the future people may never figure out. So only a few people who watch this might even know how to do that. Yeah, let's go back to the thing. We already showed you refuel. Bounties. So bounties are really fun. Let's say you were playing with me right now and you keep destroying my stuff, or I just don't like you, or I want to make your life a living hell. Well, I can place a bounty on your head and I can pay however many credits for people to go after you and try to destroy your stuff. So if they do that, then they can claim the bounty.
This is very nice.
Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
This game have P2P, and I, especially if I don't like some player, can put the money that somebody try to kill him.
That's correct. Exactly. Yep, that is exactly right. Yeah. So it's a kind of a MMO style. So it's multiplayer. There's going to be other people flying around the galaxy with you, and if you don't like me, you can create a bounty, and everybody will come after me to get that bounty.
Amazing. I so like such mechanics.
Yeah, and again, it kind of sucks if somebody puts a bounty on your head, because if they destroy your ship, you're going to lose all that stuff. I mean, this is all on chain, right? And all of a sudden you're like, oh man. So you have to be very careful about what you do and how you do it. You want to make sure that you store the ships and only use them at the right times. And it starts to become pretty complicated. Just to outrun the bounties, to be honest with you.
But what happens if somebody kills you?
So if somebody kills you, okay. So originally, when somebody killed you, the mechanic is that you just appear again at a star mall. Your levels and everything stay the same, so you don't actually lose any levels or achievements or faction standings or anything like that. Your ship doesn't 100% get destroyed, but they can salvage the parts from it, and then your ship gets what's it called, hauled, or what? I can't even speak English anymore. It gets taken back to the closest star mall, and then you have to spend money to repair it. But basically, you repair it, and it's kind of back to where it was. So you don't have to necessarily start over from scratch.
Okay, but do you lose any credits?
You don't lose credits, but you do. So let me think about this. It's been a minute. So the combat stuff is still in development. So I don't really want to say 100% what it is, because it might change. You definitely don't lose credits. But you might lose the Ceruleum that you're carrying, which is an ERC-20 that you spent money on. So you
Oh,
did
so the
spend money.
cargo. Okay,
So your
okay.
cargo you would lose, absolutely. And they'll be able to salvage that cargo. So in a way, you're losing credits, you're using assets because you spent credits to buy them, and then now somebody can blow you up and take them from you.
So basically, credits is your account and cargo is your wallet, that if the hooligans get you, you lose your cargo.
That's
Right?
correct. Yep, that's a great way to put it. That's exactly right. So there is a lot of danger involved, and that's actually a great segue. And again, I would have loved to have shown you the combat, but I'm totally redoing it, and things are going to change on that side of things. So I'm not even going to bother showing you. Plus, I'd need to go to a certain mission to do that. Let's see. What was my brain today?
Yes, we understand that we can lose our ship, but now we have it, and we can go to the different missions to collect something and also to
That's
trade.
correct. That's correct. Right. Oh, I remembered real quick so we've done some trades. We'll go ahead and fly to a different sector and try to trade the Ceruleum that we bought, or I think it was tech. So here in the map, and for whatever reason I can't scroll around in it, but if you notice, this sector says it's protected. So this means that, let's say you want to log off. Well, and you don't have a planet, you don't have any way to protect yourself. You can go to a protected sector and nobody can fight you. So in protected sectors, there's no fighting. So it's kind of like a safe place for beginners, especially. Just keep that in mind. So once obviously this goes live on chain for mainnet, which I'm not sure when that's going to happen, but when it does, now your assets are at risk, right? And when you leave, that doesn't mean the game ends. The game runs 24/7. So you might want to get yourself to a protected sector so people don't steal your cargo. Just as an aside. Okay, yeah, let's go. Let's go and we'll undock here. And actually, I feel like I saw, what's here? Oh, there's an outpost here. And they're buying tech. Oh, perfect. Okay, so let's actually fly there. We'll dock at this outpost. And if you notice outpost, oh, you can buy tech. They're not buying tech. I always get that backwards. So you can buy more tech here. And see, we paid 60 credits for 10 tech, and they're selling it for 48. Dang it, might have to DCA. But if you notice, the outpost is different than a star mall. Outposts are just for buying, just for trading, buying and selling here. That's all you can do. You can't go to the arcade. You can't get drunk at the cantina. None of that stuff. There's a lot more outposts throughout the galaxy than there are star malls. Star malls are a special sort of place. Okay, well, dang it. Can't buy anything here, so let's, gotta undock. Let's keep flying around and hopefully we'll find another one before we run out of, credits. So yeah, in the beginning of the game, this can take quite some time because you have to fly around. But what we did find are planets. So this sector actually has some planets. Looks like it has one planet. It's a volcanic planet. So it produces Ceruleum and tech, and it has a unique item called plasma crystals, which it creates. Those can be used for crafting. So we can get into crafting after this as well if you'd like. But so I'm going to go ahead and claim this planet. Got an achievement for that. I'm a landowner, and I could land on my planet here. There's not anything for us to do, but here's what it looks like when you land on your planet. These are the different resources that it could potentially mine for you. The best race is the Callan, so you want to deposit Callan colonizers there. So if I were at a seed planet, then I could get some Callans. And anyways, there's a lot to this game. Let's just say that. One neat thing is that some of these planets are self-sustaining. They have a little bit of self-sustaining because you have to feed your colonizers in order to keep them mining.
I see that the possibility is really amazing. Yes, that you can not only trade but also colonize, and here is a lot of different kinds of economics.
Exactly. That's absolutely right. So you can colonize your planets, and then, in the Star Mall, there's all those different devices that you can buy to protect your planets. Because obviously, if people can attack your planet and then take your planet from you. So you need to make sure that you protect that, especially when it's actively being mined, or somebody else is going to take that, and now they're going to be earning those assets rather than you. And again, they, depending on what kind of planet they are, they'll mine ceruleum, tech, or the special item that they have. So yeah, one thing that you can do once you colonize, let's say, rather than buying and selling, you mine and sell. So there's that kind of a mechanic as well. And here's a little graph that you can see. Once you colonize, you kind of want to make it so it's ideal, and that way you're not spending more food than you are getting resources. So there's some calibration. It's not that easy to just put a bunch of colonists on a planet and expect to earn a bunch, because your colonists are going to starve and you're not going to be mining anything. So you have to tend to your planets. And yes, there are trading routes to where you can automate that as well for a fee. What else can I show you guys? I'm not sure we're going to be able to find an outpost that easily, so I'm probably just going to move on to something else, because there's a lot in this game.
Yes, it would be nice to see maybe some general mechanics. Yes, like a trading, updating the ship. I don't know about fights. You was telling that you will update fights, and they will be even more interesting. But just maybe some small life hack. What should new player do? Do they need to more concentrate on the trading, or do they need more to concentrate on the colonization of the planets?
Right.
The best first steps to not to start a good development of your character.
Sure. Yeah, I think that's a great idea. So what I suggest is do the missions. Do the missions. If you're new, just do as many missions as you possibly can, because the missions are designed in a way to where it sets you up for the future, which is going to be colonizing planets and doing the trading and doing side missions, that kind of a thing, and interacting with other players. So if you're new, first thing you want to do is try to go through as many missions as you possibly can. That way you really get a good understanding of the game, and you get a good understanding of the lore. So there's all these different races. There's the Vedic, there's the Kalan, there's the Terrari, there's the Muscurians. So there's all these different characters, and you kind of learn what each one of them does and why it's good to interact with one or stay away from another, that sort of a thing. For the purposes of this, though, I already did one mission. So there's still some more stuff here, though. We've gone through the whole, this is your ship. So this is kind of an extension of this cargo here. This is where you can see the different items. Obviously, resources. I broke this again last night. So, but you would see that you have tech in here. You would see anything that you salvaged from a derelict ship that you found, possibly. And you would see what kind of colonists you have on your planet. A scanner. Your scanner actually tells you kind of what's inside of the sector. So if we go to the sector here by double clicking, I can click on it, navigate, or I can go to my ship, and inside of my scanner, it'll tell you what kind of resources are there, what kind of deployables are there, and then a little bit about the sector. And I can even claim the sector. Yeah, I can claim it already. So I can't name it yet, but I can claim it. Another thing I can do is I can register it with one of these factions. So I'm a Vedic, so I'm going to go ahead and register with the Vedic. And as you can see, I've gotten 25 fame from that. So as you gain fame with these Vedics or Kalan or whatever factions, they can give you special items and they can give you different missions, that sort of a thing. Commerce. Yeah, so this is where you do your routes, right? So I have this planet, and I can create a route. Yeah, it looks like, again, I broke this last night. Won't take much to fix it, but basically I can set up a route which will continuously feed my colonists. It costs money, costs 5,000 credits just to set it up. And then there's extra costs for fuel protection. So if you run out of fuel, somebody can attack your caravan that's sending food to your planet. So there's you got to be very mindful of how you're spending your money, and make sure everything is good to go. That's why, again, for a new player, I wouldn't even mess with that at all. Like I would. Oh, wait a minute. Actually, give me just a moment. I might have to go. Let me double check. Nope, I still have 1 hour. Actually, I have a meeting with Arbitrum here in an hour. But anyway, yeah, so you want to be very mindful of the things that you're doing. And as a new player, you're not going to be able to manage this. So I say do the missions. Another thing, go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, yes. So this is quite interesting, and I hope that new players will listen your advices. So yeah, now good to show some trading things and explain a little bit inner tokenomics.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, so as far as the tokenomics specifically, those are still being worked on. So these prices and everything, and the credits that you receive from missions and all that kind of thing, that's all going to change because obviously we need to balance the tokenomics. So, you know, I want Web 2 players to play this. So that's why I've abstracted away the Web 3 layer. But 2, I do want Web 3 players to play it as well because they like the trading aspects and the tokenomics behind things. So we need to ensure that part is really dialed in, so that way one person doesn't come in and try to find a way to colonize and cheat the planets and gain all the ceruleum and crash the actual market. So that's going to be probably the very last part of development, is making sure that the tokenomics are completely dialed in. But you've already seen how some of it works. So basically, we've gone to, let's see, does it tell me what sector? Yeah, let's go back to the Star Mall at 726. 726. We'll go there. So you'd fly to the Star Mall, or it looks like it's an outpost, and it's still selling tech. But let's say we had food from earlier we bought, we would just sell it here, and then you would get those credits. It's just a very simple mechanic like that. Colonizing, obviously, if you're mining it, then you can sell it at these outposts as well. One thing is that, here, let's actually undock. If you go to commerce when you're not docked, it says market, not Star Mall, not outpost. It says market. This is where you can actually see what they have. So not every Star Mall and every outpost has the same thing, and they don't all have fully stocked. So basically, people have to sell to an outpost in order for that outpost to have something to sell back to others. So that part is already kind of balanced out. It needs obviously a little bit of work, but that's kind of how that works. So if I go to outpost number 1, I buy there, then I fly to outpost number 2, I can sell there. But outpost number 2 might not have any Cerillium because people have only been selling it food, or people have only been selling it tech. So it can start to become a little bit complicated. You have to keep track of where everything is, and that's why I have like this sort of thing. So all these different filters, and that way you can look through and find what's what. If you're savvy, you can actually probably create a bot that will track this stuff for you, because these are all just API endpoints that you can query. That gets real technical, and that's more for the crypto people. So hopefully that answers your question.
I have another one, if I
Sure.
may ask.
Absolutely.
Like all these markets, they offer to buy the stuff that you want to sell to them. What balance are the market using, and where these credits are going eventually, like from all of these tradings?
Right. So the way that so again, the tokenomics haven't been 100% worked out, but the way we've thought about this in the beginning. So kind of the mechanism for credits, if it's selling and you're buying from it and you give it credits, then that's the outpost itself will use those credits to buy from others. So in a way, it's almost like a trader itself. So it starts off with a small wallet, but in order for its wallet to grow, people have to interact with it.
Makes complete sense. Gotcha.
So then another thing here is we have the ledger, and this kind of tells you your profit and loss and the different transactions. So we bought tech at 61, which I mentioned was a really bad buy, but we did it anyways. So now you can kind of track your profit and loss here. So what we want to do is we definitely need to either sell some tech for higher or buy some for cheaper, whatever it may be, right? You're going to have to come up with your own trading strategy to ensure that you're net positive. Or you don't have to do it at all, and you can just play the game and just hunt people down, right? So there's a couple different facets here where you can be a crypto trader and you can play and do that kind of thing. Or you could just be a pirate and you just make people's life a living hell. So it might sound like it's going to be really profitable, but there's going to be people coming after you constantly, and there's going to be people coming after them constantly. So it'll eventually just kind of hopefully balance itself out.
Yeah,
Social.
sounds like a real
Go ahead.
way.
Go ahead.
If you earn a lot, some people will come to take it from you.
Yeah, exactly. It's very much like real life, right? I mean, this is like there could be wars. And that actually brings me into the next thing here in social. So here's contacts. We actually have already seen a few NPCs. We haven't interacted with them yet, but this is where you keep track of where your NPCs are. This is when they're in the sector, and these are different players. So you might run into other players, and then they'll go into your contacts list here. Factions, that's like this stuff over here. Still being worked on right now, so I'm not going to go into that. But syndicate. So syndicates are basically DAOs. And this is all on chain again too. So you can form a DAO or a syndicate, or you can join one. And this is where you can actually, so for fun, let's just create it right now. And recruitment can be either open, anybody can join it, closed, nobody can join it, or invite only. I don't know why you would ever make a closed one, but that is an option in case you want to do that. It can also say that they have to be a certain level. So let's say they have to be level 10. We don't want noobs. And then you can set up the voting quorum. So you will actually make proposals, and you will do different things like that. So we'll just keep it at 60%, give it a 48-hour voting period, and go ahead and create that.
Oh, this is amazing. The decentralized governance system is implemented inside of the game. I really like it.
That's correct. Yep. So that's already all. Yeah, governance is there. You have your own resource pools. You can do different things as syndicates. You can create factory planets. You can have different projects, so you can create space stations or your own personal warp network hub, which will make it easier and more efficient to travel in between your different planets. Mega weapons, colony ships, which can carry thousands of colonists, that sort of a thing. Structures, so once you have structures built, they'll be listed here. And then as the admin, you can actually do different things. So you can assign a recruiter or a treasurer, warlord, admins. You can also do a custom role, which can, that person can do certain things outside of governance. So these are kind of like the.
So if I understand correctly, I can make, for example, warlord even another player, yes or not? So is it possible to cooperate and tell, okay, this is my empire and you are the governor of this planet?
Yes, exactly. That's exactly the point. Yep, exactly. And yeah, so if you go into governance, so what you can do is you can actually even just propose that to the rest of the syndicate. So you can do, a charter amendment. You can create an alliance with another syndicate. You can ask for a treasury withdrawal. You can be like, I want, DVS to be the warlord, and then you. I don't know why I have to do that. I don't think I actually do. So then now there's an active vote, and the members of the syndicate can either say yes or no or abstain. So very much like a DAO. And this will be built out a little bit more just so we can add, so everybody, so you get as much as you possibly need. But as it stands right now, you can already do, and this is on chain, keep in mind. This is a vote that's being held on chain right now. So this governance proposal was the second we did it, it was put on chain. Let me show you guys something here. Scan.mavis.ai. So here's a very simple block explorer that I created. They'll probably, I'll add some more stuff to this, obviously, so you can see the different transactions which are not displaying properly. But you can see that, yeah, we're already at block 30 or sorry, 247692. So it's already been running for a few days now. I reset this actually every so often because we do have to do different contracts sometimes. So there's 10 different, ERC20, ERC721, and factory contracts on here. The syndicate one is the one that governs the DAOs. Member contract, that's the one that you use for when you first join the game. So this is a mechanic that William and I came up with a few, 3 years ago, 4 years ago now, is how do we stop players from cheating, right? Let's say you get in a fight and you're losing. And you're like, you know what? I don't want to lose my cargo. I don't want to have to rebuild my ship. I'm just going to quit the game. And if they blow it up, then they can't blow it up, or whatever it may be. They try to cheat. Well, this is like an escrow contract. So when you first join the game, you deposit all your tokens and everything into that. Anything that you're earning in the game, the credits, the Ceruleum, all the different cargo types, those are all kept in your member contract. If you decide you want to try to cheat, it's not going to happen. Because the other player the game will still give those assets to the other player. So this is kind of a way to keep things fair. A pretty neat mechanic. If you guys want, I think I do have the contracts up on GitHub right now, and you can take a look at them. But yeah, there's all the different NFTs and all the different ERC20 tokens.
This is really great and amazing.
Thanks, man. Thank you. I really appreciate you. Yeah, I mean, we came up with the idea a long time ago, and we put a lot of work into it. As you know, some folks that are watching this probably know. In the beginning, we put a ton of work into it, and unfortunately, we ran out of money, and I have to eat, so I had to get a job, and then I just didn't have any time to work on it anymore. But recently, with the way that AI is going, I figured, man, with AI, I've got a team of, I've got a whole development team, so why not just utilize it? So I use Claude to build this. Obviously, I've designed it all, but Claude has been doing a lot of the coding over the last 4 weeks or so. And funny enough, I asked it the other day, so what do you think, how long do you think this would have taken to code out without using AI? And as it stands right now, not including the little bit of bugs that I introduced last night, but it would have taken one person, if they were an amazing coder, it would have taken them a year to do what I did in 4 weeks here. So I was like, okay, well, whatever, let's keep going and let's build it out. And so here we are. I mean, we've got a fully functional game, and lots of different things for people to do, lots of fun, in my opinion, cool game music, lots of storylines and all that sort of thing. So, yeah, that kind of brings me to the end, to be honest with you.
So, game is amazing. I really love such kind of games, and of course we will spread the information among the community, and we will find initial community players who will start to play, report bugs, and so on. And I'm totally sure that the early birds will get even more than everybody else. So, friends, if you are watching this record or if you are online, remember that those who participate will always get more than those who don't participate. This is the economics of participation. Just several short questions before we finish this online game stream. I remember that you was trying to build game chain coin. And as I understand, you now think that this is not really needed for the game, or you still have this wish to finish coin chain?
So yeah, so the chain did go live. I mean, it was mainnet, but yeah, it's at this stage, it's just not really feasible to have a chain. We did have investors, so those investors will basically get transferred over. So if you have coin tokens, those will be transferred over to whatever EVM chain we decide to go with, whether it's Arbitrum or Polygon or Ethereum or whatever it may be. I haven't decided yet. The tokens that you had on coin chain, you'll also have on the new chain.
Second, you mentioned that just literally in 30 minutes of kind of this, you will meet with the Arbitrum. So what's about your connections, yes, with other chains? Do you have some collaborators? Do you have maybe some agreements with other networks, with other projects, with other games?
Yeah, sure. No formal agreements, but definitely other friends that are also building games. This kind of so yes, absolutely. There's nothing formal, and I didn't tell him I was going to talk about this, so I don't want to name any names, but we definitely do have some association and partnerships with other games. That kind of goes back to the thing that you really love is the cross game collaboration where, you know, at some point we're going to make it so some of the NFTs and stuff, the in-game items in this game can be transferred into other games and vice versa. So that's something that we're already working on and actively trying to develop.
Great, amazing. We will also attract several interesting games. For example, we have Red Planet DAO. They build a game by how to build a base and the colony with the different mining things. Maybe it will be a very nice collaboration that you build a part of the space travels and they build a part of the building the colonies on each planet. And after these two games can be combined together to have the beautiful, much more functional gameplay. And third question about AI and about your own feelings. So totally share your vision that without AI, we need to make it years, and with AI, it's weeks, yes, if not days. And right. AI developing so fast. So how do you think, what's your personal feelings about AI? As from one side, everything became so easy. To build something became much easier than it was before. And in the same time, we understand that something that is built easily have lower value than something that is built hard. So when we understand, it was the big job of so many people, we start to value it. And when we understand, okay, this is just AI created, it's not so valuable. What's your feelings about it, and how do you think what we can expect from the AI near time as the builders?
Yeah, that's a terrific question. Something that hasn't really been posed yet, but I will say, so to kind of let me think about it a little bit here. So one, yes, it took me about 4 weeks to build it. But that was also 4 weeks of 12 plus hours a day. So this was every single day, which does count for something. Now, just because AI was doing the actual code, I was still doing all of the design. I was doing all the testing. I have to do, code reviews and that sort of thing. So I am still a human in the loop. That being said, AI is just another tool. It's like a spell checker, or if you're a writer and you're going to use a spell checker, people just assume you're going to do that. People don't judge you because of that. I understand that now AI is so new that people are like, oh, it's just AI. But I do believe that it adds value. I think it really does, because let's say I used AI, continue to use it for the next year. In 4 weeks, I did what would take somebody a year to do. What would happen if I used it for an entire year? What kind of games could we have if people develop for that long?
GTA 6.
Yeah, they should, maybe they could take a page out of my book and start using AI. Yeah, no kidding. Maybe maybe people should get together and build a new GTA 6 and see which one comes out faster. But yeah, I think it's a tool. I've got, I struggled for a moment. Should I embrace AI? Is it the demise of humanity? Is it going to kill us all? Is it going to destroy us? I dealt with that for a little while, but then with the growth of it, like it's just something you have to lean into. If you're not using AI at this stage, you're gonna get left behind. I mean, again, I've done in 4 weeks what would have taken a normal person 12 months. So who's going to win this race? Whether my game is more valuable or not, I don't even think is the question anymore. It's more about, I have something playable and you don't. So yeah, I think it's something that I'm leaning into it very heavily. That's a whole nother conversation, but yeah, I think people should lean into it.
Yes, definitely. Totally agree. I'm as the post-humanist and as the technocrat, I for embracing AI and for the synergy between humans and AIs. I totally sure that even we need to start to build products for AI, even not for the humans. Yes, but as for humans, as for AI. Yes, and those products that will be only be usable by humans but not AIs will definitely lose the race for the product that's as for humans, as for AIs. So then, thank you very much. This was so interesting and cool presentation. We will edit it, maybe even we don't need to really edit it, and publish it as soon as possible. And of course, we will launch quests and tasks about Cosmic Horizon game to attract more people. Maybe you even wish to add some prizes, rewards. Get these achievements, send me feedback, and you will get the 10,000 credits and the blaster weapon for your ship. Yes, to attract more players. As my vision, the games, it will be with us for a long, long time, because even if AI can do everything better than we, but we want to play. I don't want that AI play for me. I want to play together with AI, but give me my pleasure. Give me my pleasure to play the game by myself. Yes, so this is what we will have even in AI ages. Maybe you want to tell some last words, call to action, that people who are watching us in the record or who are now online get this message from you.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, obviously, first off, thank you so much for having me on, and thanks for everybody who's listening and watching and watching it live and watching it in the future. One thing I do want to mention, and this is probably more for people who are watching it now, is that this is still under development. So you may come into the game one day and all your stuff is gone, because sometimes we do have to wipe the database. I have to launch a new chain, things like that. So just be very mindful when you play that it's not permanent at the moment, but do know that I'm working very fast to get things up and running. So yeah, just really appreciate everybody for watching.
Thank you very much, Dan. Thank you for all our cosmonauts who was online. Friends, if you are watching it in record, thank you for you too, because all together we will build something really great. See you soon, friends. Bye-bye.
Yep. Bye.
So I will stop the record, stop the recording.